It's like, why would you want to go to the gym? All you're doing is lifting circles up and down. Why? It's so repetitive. Why would you do that? Which, I mean, you just don't get it. If you're not into it, you just don't get it. If you can't do your most amount of weight for 8 reps and you have to do like 50 pounds less, but you still push yourself to failure, you still actually do a crazy set, then that's a good set. I think what I'm really trying to say is don't focus so much on the numbers themselves that you're lifting. Focus more so on trying to make each set that you do, push yourself to ideally, max exertion every time. If you can sort of try to rearrange your workouts into such a way that you're doing things that you like the workout you're doing, and you can sort of get hyped up to do each set back to back to back, and it's not going to be difficult for you to go in on a day-to-day basis, right? It's not hard to play 3 hours of Warzone because you like doing it. So if you've got a workout routine that is just feels like a chore, you don't like it, the set's just you gotta just try something else. Try changing it up. These are not words to live by, but if you wait until the last minute, then it only takes a minute. Right? That sounds kind of cool. That sounds like it makes sense. But no, that isn't. That is probably the worst method to go about it. I can guarantee it. If you want anything to fucking grow, you've got to at least stimulate it. I mean, it's just I don't want to say ludicrous, because abs are kind of a secondary muscle which gets activated all the time. I mean, I'll hear people say like, oh, well, just by squatting, I'm activating my abs. Or, just by like, I don't think you're just going to get a crazy set of freaking, abdominals without direct training. But if you're into New Year's resolutions, I feel like I talked about this earlier. Maybe that can be yours. Maybe that could be yours, doing your cardio. It would probably be a lot cooler if you would just do it right now without having to wait for a special occasion like a New Year's resolution. But that's you. That's your life. I'm not your dad. I'll just try to give you as much good information as I can, and you can do with it what you will. If you do the same workout with the same intensity and the same reps and the same weight day after day, you're not going to make any gains from that, because you're going to reach a point in your build where, okay, I'm used to this. I can handle this. This is just normal, right? Like the dude who just fucking wakes up every day, does his business, comes back home, he's not making any gains because he's not stressing the system. The whole point of going into the gym and doing your little workout is to fucking give your body a stimulus where it says, holy shit, I gotta deal with this. I gotta go home, sleep, and put all this shit back together. So do you have your whole year planned out? How far ahead in advance do you have something that you want to progress in planned, on a day-by-day basis? Right? How far ahead? Maybe a week? Maybe a month? Maybe not at all? You gotta work on that. I'm a little bit spoiled because my year, honestly, my next few years, they're already lined up and scheduled. Like if somebody didn't even care about working out at all, and they were like forced to do all these lifts and eat all their food and track their macros and whatever, if they didn't actually want to do it, dude, this shit would be a fucking challenge, But if you actually want results, then you should be able to have the kind of firm enough grasp on reality to understand that your effort in going to the gym, doing your macros, eating your meals, hitting your protein, whatever else, all that shit is going to correlate directly with your fucking progress. So it should hype you up to do it. Having a little bit of a firm grasp on what muscles come into play, not even during specific exercises, but just in specific movements of your body. Like being able to kind of visualize that in your mind is going to help you squeeze your sets and like just kind of orientate yourself and adjust the seat and position of certain machines in a way that the movements really feel comfortable for you. If you're doing a lat pull down, don't just think about pulling the bar to your chin. Try to think about pulling your lats tighter into your spine, or internally kind of pivoting your shoulder blade and stuff like that. However, you could probably pretend to hit failure. You could pretend to do a hard set and just be like, oh, that was a good one. But you had like 10 reps in reserve. Oh my goodness. Pretending to do a hard set. Holy shit. I've never thought of anything more preposterous. Oh my god. Holy shit. About it. You never see me doing reverse curls in my bicep workouts, right? And you're never going to really catch me doing hammer curls either, because as far as I'm concerned, when I'm hitting biceps, I want to just hit biceps. So for me to do hammer curls or reverse grip curls like this, it's just getting so much forearm in the equation. Like this big chunk of meat right here, and everybody loves saying it in the comments, the brachioradialis, or whatever. It can be overdeveloped. So, and honestly, my forearms are not too small already. I really want my biceps and my triceps to catch up, and I don't want to say overpower, but I do want much bigger arms. So I don't want to waste energy and also just make my arms a little bit more disproportionate by slamming this part of my forearm, because even though it is a part of my forearm, it's still taking over a lot of my curling force, a lot of my curling strength, just because these muscles are pretty much individual to the forearm. They don't really come into play with like a curl, but this one right here obviously attaches down here at your forearm and gets all the way up here into your upper arm. So that's why when you do a reverse curl like that, you can actually work that back part of your forearm. I was just kind of daydreaming in class. We were watching some presentations, and it didn't necessarily require 100% attention. So like a little bit of a delinquent, I was kind of dozing off. And while I was half asleep, I was kind of dreaming that I was doing leg extensions, Like when you get to the point that when you dream, you literally dream about the lift that you're going to do the next day. And you're like, in your mind, you almost like feel yourself doing the sets and stuff like that. I mean, I won't say that's a good sign, but I will say that's probably correlated with a lot of training experience and training obsession, which in the context of long-term progress, those are some good traits to freaking have. I believe that firmly. So say, when I'm hitting buys, I just want to hit buys. So if I wanted to do some direct forearm work like that, maybe at the end of the workout I would, but that's just kind of something which you're going to have to look at your own build and think, all right, what's ahead of the game? Forearms, biceps, tries, whatever. Try to get everything in proportion. Now, of course, you also have to couple that with, all right, I want to get everything as big and freaky as possible. So there is a middle ground, which, I mean, it's just kind of up to you to find. But no matter what you're doing, as long as the sets are legit hard and you're actually pushing yourself and you know it for sure, and you're not just being delusional and doing like a baby set and saying that was good, you're going to make some progress, man. Honestly, in terms of all this muscle growth, whatever, the gym's the simple part. You just go in, you throw a bunch of weight around, you have some fun, get a gnarly pump, and that's the end of it. I mean, let's just think about this with a little bit of logic. Let's say you take you right now, hypothetically, let's say you just lift every day, you're pretty strong, you're nice and bulked up, you got a lot of calories in your system, you're throwing around a lot of weight. If you were to just stop lifting, what do you think is going to happen? If you're right here and then you just stop lifting, I don't foresee a spike. I don't foresee a spike to happen after that. I only foresee a freaking downward trend till, baseline of just being a normal Joe. So, fuck, man. I mean, if I thought that every couple of weeks I should take a week off and it would actually make me stronger, then shit, I would do it. That's kind of how I approach everything. Apart from, like, obviously keeping my mind open to new ideas, but you got to be able to do shit, or you should have the ability to do things which you can understand the benefits, or avoid doing things if you can understand the detriments of what they're going to do to you. I definitely think there's a benefit to trying to go in and whatever you think is going to feel good as an opener, as long as it kind of fits the basic framework of what your lifts look like. I think there's some benefit in that, but it's probably not end of the world important. If you've got a basic lift that you like, I don't think it's going to hurt you to just repeat it for a couple weeks straight, as long as you actually push it every lift. Dude, come on, calves are jacked, bro. I've tried everything. I've tried to hit them, man. It doesn't work for me. I don't know about all that, man. I mean, I feel like if I heard 100 lifters say that excuse, be it like spoken or commented or whatever, maybe 5 of them are telling the truth. Maybe, and that's honestly probably being even a little bit generous. Like, train it like any other muscle. You can't just lift and then expect shit to happen if you don't hit something. I would never expect any chest growth if I didn't thrash my chest. How do you really think you'll be able to do a set as intensely on curls if you just did a set of really hard pushdowns or really hard machine dips? I mean, obviously you're not working the muscle that you're about to. My biceps don't come into play at all during tricep pushdowns, but still, it's just a personal preference thing. And I say this now, but I also said with just as much confidence back when I did do these sort of superset style workouts that it's saving time, I'm more efficient. So I mean, take it with a grain of salt. Get in the gym, do your sets, leave with a pump. That's all you got to do.